Here you are, the king in person. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Awesome. Thanks so much for your time.
Yeah, no problem.
So, are you
Thank you
ready?
for having me.
Sure, absolutely.
hmm
Pleasure. So, first of all, congratulations on your big journey. I feel like it's crazy how much you achieved in the past years. And
Thank you.
what I love about YouTube is that you can become incredibly successful when you showcase your skills and your talent. And that's what annoys me, about people that go like, oh, it's 2020, 2021. It's not worth to start a channel. There's like too much competition out there. People won't find my channel, whatever. So they already give up before they even try. So before you
Exactly.
started your own channel, what were your thoughts about YouTube? Did you ever question it before starting it?
Um, I definitely I didn't go into YouTube with the mindset that a lot of people usually have. Like I feel like I wasn't really exposed to YouTube until I was really on it.
Mhm.
So I feel like the beauty in that was that I was more focused on the content I was creating versus the views it would receive after I created it. I was more in love with the concept of making something really dope and then it getting posted and people like possibly being able to see it. But like my intentions wasn't ever to like go viral or get millions of views. It was just like how can I make a really good video and then how can I make a video that's better than the video I just created.
Right. And I feel like, that's it's very inspirational because you just grab your camera, you shoot stuff, you post it, and then you see how it does and how people react to it. Um, and again, there are so many people that go like, "Oh, I want to be a movie star, or I want to be the greatest director ever," and but they always push back the work they need to do in order to achieve their goals. They go like, "Oh, today I'm going to do something else. I'm going to work on it tomorrow." And then years go by and they just wait for, I don't know, to be discovered for doing nothing. And so um, how important has it been to you to really, chase your dreams today and to never wait for tomorrow in order to make them come true?
I definitely feel like it's super important to never get discouraged on this path because this is the path less traveled in the sense it's not really traditional to do the content creation path, especially with me it's like I'm using this path to become a director, to become one of the greatest directors. This has been the journey set for me. And it definitely isn't easy, but I feel like the most important part about it all is to start. A lot of people are so concerned about like what's going to happen once they get into it, and they think about all the adversities before they even face them. You can't be afraid of what could happen. I feel like the biggest step is to start because you won't be able to see a change. Like nothing will happen until you take that first step. And a lot of people, the difference between the people who are doing it and the people who aren't is that the people who did it took that first step, and everyone else are just like they're too nervous or they're too cautious or they just feel like it's too out of their element or they don't have the right support system. But I feel like the biggest support system is the support that you get from yourself. I feel like you have to have an extreme self belief. Like you have to believe in yourself before anyone else can. And you have to be a fan of what you're doing before anyone else could be a fan of what you're doing. Um, and you can't like wait for someone to tell you that you can do it. You have to make the decisions. I feel like life is about making decisions. So
Yeah.
the second that you chose that you're going to do this, it's you make the choice. I'm going to do this. And it's like, I'm not just here for all the happy times, all the great successes. I have to be there for the lows, the falls, the L's, but I'm also, through those losses and failures is going to get me closer and closer to my goal. So it's like, that's really the mental choice that you have to make. But it's like, really, I feel like, it doesn't even have to be that complex. it's really about what you love to do, you know. And once you decide what you love, you're going to endure everything that comes with that, you know. Like, you know, if you want to become, like, even people who want to become like lawyers or doctors, it's no easy path. You have to go through a lot. You have to study, you have to learn, you have to expand, you have to chase, you know. And you might, it might be a lot of hard nights, a lot of long nights, but it's like, since you love, you know, the concept, or you love the thoughts of you becoming this doctor, becoming this lawyer, you're going to endure any adversity on the way to that path. So that's really like step one. And step two is, one, having a love for something, and step two is taking the step towards that.
Absolutely, that's absolutely right what you said, because so many people really rely on what other people say, and this might make them believe they are not good at something, whatever. And your work effort brought you to a collaboration with Netflix on Netflix Dreams. And I can imagine that working for your personal channel and working for the channel of the biggest streaming service ever um, is very different. Um, I was wondering, how much did this collaboration, influence the way you direct and produce your movies and videos?
Um, so I feel like, you know, approaching something like Netflix and doing what we're doing with them, you know, this could have went a lot of different ways. You know, I could have approached it any kind of way, but like, I really wanted to take all the skills that I've learned and apply it into the episodes that we would be dropping with Netflix streams in this miniseries. So I definitely feel like we wanted to attack it in a completely different way. And, you know, my team, Rider Boy Films, Wolf Graphic Films, we wanted to attack this in a way, because we know that with this opportunity, we are finally getting a moment for the world to really see who we are. So it's like, why would we give them any less than 100% of what we're capable of at this point? You know, so I feel like, you know, our main goal is to really put our heart and soul into like what we're creating, because we actually care about what we're creating. You know, we want to go 3 years, 4 years down the road, and we're on a completely different level, doing completely different things, and look back and be happy knowing that we put 100% into it, and we didn't take the easy route. We we really did that. We really went in late nights, early mornings, and we made it happen. And you know, that's one thing I always tell to like creators and young directors and actors is like it really revolves with like content creation. Like create what you like, create wherever you want, but you know, put 100% to everything you do. You know, like, don't make the video that you know is going to go viral. You know, like you
Yeah.
like, yes, make a video, but put passion in it, put love behind it. Because if you're making a bunch of videos that are getting millions of views, but then 3 years later you look back at those videos and you don't feel great about them because you just did it to get those numbers, but it wasn't really what you cared about, then you're going to find yourself like unhappy with what you're creating, and you're going to fall out of love with it. You know, it's like, that's why I'm like, put 100% into what you do. You know, it's to me, it's always been quality over quantity. And that's exactly what we want to provide going into Netflix. So, you know, it was definitely like, everything that has happened through my YouTube has definitely built me up for this moment, and helped me produce help me be able to produce these diamonds with the pressure applied. So I'm definitely really happy with how they turned out, and I'm glad to see so many people enjoying them.
And what would you say in general, how much did you learn about content creation, between the time you first you uploaded your very first video and now?
I feel like I've learned a lot, you know, because, you know, at first, you know, I didn't know like what it was that I was going towards. Like, I didn't know what goal it was. At first, it was just like, I'm in love with just creating videos, you know, and then that love for creating videos turned into, well, I want to do something bigger than just creating videos. I want to make films one day. I want to make movies. Well, how do I build myself towards that? Well, it's like I have to take my time. You know, it has to be a trial and error. You know, I'm not going to get perfect the first time. You know, I have to keep trying and trying and trying and also learning. So I feel like over time, you know, through this content creation path, it's taught me how to learn from my failures and how to improve. Because my whole mentality through Instagram and all my social media has always been my next video will be my best video. And when I, you know, do start creating films there or in theaters, that's going to be my same mindset. You know, I feel like I'm really installing that mindset into me and into my team and all the people around me, is to always want to one up yourself and nothing less.
And what would you say inspires your content creation the most? What makes you grab a camera and shoot?
I feel like I have a lot of people that I'm inspired by, and also like sometimes like I'm in all of this and I don't really take time to step back and like look around and like really enjoy what's going on. But I feel like also what inspires me is my past, like looking at my old videos, looking at my vines, looking at my early
Yeah,
YouTube videos, and really seeing how far I have came, you know, seeing how far, like, you know, the heights that I've reached, you know, that's what inspires me, knowing that I'm not going backwards, but I'm going forward, and I can see it. It's visual. It's there for me. So I feel like my past, seeing that I have improved so much, has inspired me to push forward to the future. So, you know, another thing that inspires me is just my team. You know, just seeing the people I surround myself with, and seeing this isn't just something I'm achieving, but it's something that we are all achieving. And being from Maryland, you know, it just felt like a small city. You know, being born in Chicago, raised in Maryland, and you know, well, a small city in Maryland, and now living in California and chasing this dream to now like being able to walk into the Netflix building and have a conversation and to create a mini series with them. It's mind blowing to me. So it's like
it is.
just looking back at the past. That's why something about me is like, you can check any of my socials. I will never delete my old videos, because I feel like people who delete their old videos, it's like they're kind of, it's no offense to them. Like some people just like the more professional look. I take a lot of pride in where I started. You know, like I take pride in this wasn't, I didn't just wake up and it was like this. I had to start from a place that felt like this here today was impossible. But now being here, it's way more possible and realistic than I could ever imagine. But the younger me would look at this as unrealistic. So it's like that's what inspires me to push forward, is looking at what it was when I didn't have any of this.
I love that because that's also something that annoys me, you know, when people start to delete their older stuff because they feel, I don't know, ashamed or whatever. But it actually,
Yeah.
what it really shows is your development. You know, you see when you go back a few years, you see the development over the years. And so you see that you went from this point to this point. So it shows that you actually learned a lot in that time. So. Do you ever run out of ideas? You know, you have, of course, you have a lot of content on your channel, but do you ever face, you know, like writer's block or director's block or anything?
Yes, I definitely face writers, directors, creating block. I face them all. You know,
Everything.
I definitely, uh, you know, and I feel like I've learned over time that it's natural. You know, like you're not always going to have a new idea like every single day. You know, but what I do to, in a sense, avoid that is that when I'm on this creative, you know, up, I like to write all my ideas down in my journals and in my notes. So even when I feel like I'm out of ideas, I've kind of already written down more ideas than I can create at the moment. So it's like all I gotta do is look back at that idea and I'm like, oh, okay, let me make this. And let me tweak this up, and all right, bet we're gonna shoot this day. So it's like I kind of like prep myself to never be in the moment of like I have nothing, you know. So yeah.
Yeah. And you know what I love about a lot of your videos is that you include, a lot of times you include characters from mangas and animes. And what I love is, you know, like for example, Dragon Ball. You watch Dragon Ball and you go like, wow, this is so cool, you know, Son Goku and his Kamehameha and everything. And then you see, you know, see this live action, and then you realize, ooh, it's not so cool as live action, because sometimes you feel like that certain stuff only works in an anime and not as live action.
Yeah.
So, and of course, we have seen a lot of manga and anime adaptations in the past from Hollywood and from Japan, and some of them were just that of unfortunately silly because they didn't work. So, but could you ever imagine to actually direct, you know, a serious manga or anime adaptation, or do you believe it should just stay its own thing?
I definitely think that if I wanted to, I could definitely make it happen. And I feel like you know, I'm definitely laying out the breadcrumbs on my YouTube channel. Like, you know, I want to show people like, you know, it's going to come. Like I had the Hood Dragon Ball Super Part One, and that was inspired by the Broly movie. And when I saw that movie, it blew my mind away. Like I love that movie. So when I get inspired by something super fast, I just like I have to create it. Like I have to make something. So like I did that with the new My Hero movie, and I feel like the more I go into it, the closer and closer I'm getting to like this vision, you know. So I feel like I do have something coming up in the future. I'm making a Hood Dragon Ball Super Part 2. But the way I'm going to approach this is going to be completely different than how I approached it in Part 1. So I'm actually very excited for that. So I feel like in the future, it's definitely a possibility. I definitely want to find a way to incorporate anime into my film style in general. So I want to, you know, find a way to create like the first like cinematic live action anime superhero in a sense, like mash those worlds together and create something entirely new.
So would you say this will be like, you know, like your own personal style that will make your filmmaking unique? Because, you know, when you watch a movie from Steven Spielberg, you know exactly it's still Steven Spielberg without knowing that it's him. Or if you watch a Christopher Nolan movie, you know it's Christopher Nolan without knowing beforehand that it's him. So do you believe that this will be, you know, the unique thing about you that will make people recognize, you know, a King Vader movie before they actually know it's a King Vader movie?
Yeah, I definitely think I'm kind of creating this like niche, this like real world anime middle ground, you know, also mixing like with hip hop and a lot of culture from you know, just a lot of black culture and like kind of mashing all this together into one genre of its own. So I definitely feel like I'm on the verge of creating something completely new to the point where people would definitely be able to recognize that this is a King Vader film. So I definitely think I'm on the brink of something new. It's just trial and error. You know, it's definitely trial and error, and but I'm here for it.
Good. You've also uploaded, you know, only I believe 2 months ago you've uploaded Don't Disrespect Halloween, which is around 45 minutes long. Um, I was wondering, what was the main challenge, you know, about creating a movie that is both, you know, creepy and funny at the same time?
So that one is actually currently that's probably one of my favorite projects as of right now that I've created.
Sure.
And you know, with that, it was like it was a challenge, you know, finding that middle ground, but I knew like it was definitely possible. Um, I guess with that, it was like that was the furthest I ever went into horror. Like I'd never really done horror before at like that. So it was like to prep up for it, I just found myself like a month before just watching horror movies back to back to back and like just kind of putting myself in like a mood, like a really dark mood, you know. And that's what I did throughout the writing process. And like, you know, there's so much small things that could turn a scene from like real funny and lighthearted to very dark stuff that goes into like the music, how a scene is lit, the colors, all that stuff, like how dark you make a scene, how light you make a scene, and then
Yeah.
also what's actually happening on screen. Like I feel like one of the terrifying, most horrifying scenes in that project was there's a scene where I have Pennywise trick Jalon to talk to she's talking to him outside out of a sewer pipe thing, and she has a baby monitor on. At the end of their conversation, the baby monitor goes off. She runs into the house. All the lights turn off, but there's one light that's still on, and you see that Pennywise is peeking out of the corner, and he walks out revealing that he's holding the baby. So it's like, with that concept, I was just really, I feel like the most terrifying thing, to me at least, is to see Pennywise holding a baby, And I feel like it would really put someone in my back is against the wall type of feeling. Like I feel defeated. There's nothing I really can do. So I started to realize like horror isn't really like about gore and arms breaking and blood flying everywhere. It's also about like it's mental too, like how does this mentally make someone feel? So I definitely just was trying to attack it in a different way, but also having great actors and great people to also bring the mood back up to light and laughing was amazing. So being able to just be able to flip the audience back and forth was definitely something unique and new. And I want to continue to do stuff like that.
And when it comes down to your future, the future of your channel, would you like to go ahead, with longer movies, or do you prefer? Would you like to have a combination of both, short ones and longer ones? Because longer ones, of course, take a lot more time and work, of course.
So I definitely think in 2021, I'm going to be uploading a lot more content, skit wise, but also in the background, I'm going to be working on bigger projects that aren't technically involved in my YouTube channel. I feel like I'm at a point now where I'm about to reach that next level, that next step. And, it's just going to be a lot more work that's going to be applied, and a lot more work that's going to be needed from me. So I'm definitely going to be stretched in a lot of different directions in 2021. But overall, I'm excited. And overall, I feel like my supporters who have been with me from the beginning are going to be really happy with what's about to happen next.
Awesome. Vader, I wish you all the best for your future. Again, it's awesome how far you've already came, in only a short period of time. It's really crazy. And again, all the best for the future. And thanks very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, man.
Absolutely, of course. Have a good day.
All right, peace.
Bye.